Can we address this as well? Are you a puppet of Soros, put here to destroy the Albanian identity, culture, and society?
So, I don't know if you remember when you first heard of Soros, but I do remember. I was in Ali Demi school. I was elementary school. And Soros was brought there by Salih Berisha. So Salih Berisha, back then, he was president. I was a pupil in elementary school. And he presented Soros as this philanthrope who is going to help Albania. And actually, my school, Ali Demi, was rebuilt by Soros funds. And
under Salih Berisha.
Under Salih Berisha. And Salih Berisha was promoting Soros.
Yes.
So I heard Soros first from Salih Berisha, who was promoting him as a philanthrope. And then many years later, I got this scholarship for a part scholarship. So they would cover my living costs when I was in the UK, and University of Oxford, they would pay the tuition fee. But this was one of at least 5 big scholarships that I got throughout my education, and one of the 10 scholarships that I received. But it was enough for people to say, so you are Soros.
Funded, backed, paid by.
Yes. So, and then sometimes I ask people, what does it really mean?
Yeah, they don't know.
What it means to be a Soros puppet, right? So, and again, because I'm an academic, I want to understand. So what I think most of these people think when they say Soros, they mean civil society. So there is a prototype of Albanian liberals which they associate with Soros, right? Sometimes they associate with every NGO in Albania, like this group of civil activists. In one way or another, they should be Soros. They should be affiliated with Soros. And when that happens, that concerns me, because it means that there is a resentment towards one part of the society that actually is very important. We didn't have that before 1990. The reason why we had civil society funded by international actors was because we didn't have it. Like in 1990, we had the military, right? People that worked in the military. We had people that worked for Sigurimi, the secret police. We had people who worked in the factories, right? We had intellectuals working at schools and universities, but we didn't have. We had very few journalists, and we had probably no activists.
Yes.
Back then there was this. I don't know how it's in English, but in Albania it was bashkime profesionale. So basically, these were like what is the name of union workers?
Yeah,
unions. But they weren't really unions. They were an extension of the state inside factories. So we didn't even have that. We didn't even have unions that were there to actually fight with the state. So that made it important for international actors, including Soros, to fund a group of people. It started from schools and universities who actually could speak up. They could live with grants. They would live with projects. Because what was the alternative? So the alternative was organized crime, right? So if you wanted, so my parents, they were working in a factory. The factory closed. They were jobless.
Yeah.
So what my dad did, he started a business. He started selling old TV sets. But what were the alternatives back then?
Yeah.
So either you participate in the market, right? Work for the state, or organize crime. There were very few options. So Soros allowed some people to actually leave out of projects, trainings, expertise, academics. They funded a lot of universities. They built schools. So, and this group of people, right, that the civil society, at some point got disconnected probably from the ordinary citizens. And probably this is the root cause of the resentment.
Yeah.
So the resentment is not, Soros is the name, like the label.
But it means something broader.
But it means the civil society.
Because I would say that the majority of people that use that word as a weapon, that name as a weapon, don't know who he is. They don't know. They see it as a concept, you know, like you just said, sort of something that they're against. They don't really understand what it is they're against. And I think
But the fact that they cannot articulate it doesn't mean that they don't have legitimate reasons to have this resentment.
But I think if they understood what it is they were fighting against, they probably wouldn't fight against it, because a lot of it actually benefits them when we talk about, schools, academia, human rights, equality, etc.
But they felt excluded from that.
Yeah.
They saw that this thing is happening, but they weren't part of it.
But then I think there's people today who are different from that. They just have tacked on to the word and they don't understand this nuance that you're explaining.
They are also demagogues. So when they are demagogues, they use it deliberately, and actually it's
a dog whistle.
Very, very profitable.
Yeah.
But I'm also concerned about people who felt disenfranchised from the civil society. And in a sense, as somebody who was part of the civil society, I've represented international organizations in Albania. I think we failed.
Yes.
So we should have connected better with people, because we were supposed to serve these people. And this resentment is not completely ungrounded.
This is something I wanted to ask you as well. I remember 2017, 2018, 2019 protests, non-political, not the PD protests, but the civil society protests. I don't see a civil society like there was years ago. I don't see people with that passion, with that drive, with that hunger, with that strength, or even that desire to stand up anymore. It seems to have gone. A lot of people have left the country who were a part of those movements. I feel a bit bad saying it, but there was this real energy back then that I don't see today.